Okay. Morning, everyone. Apologies for the delay. There's a change to the membership. Councillor Paul Lloyd is joining us for this session. Thank you, Paul, for joining us at such short notice. Apologies for absence, please.
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any disclosures of personal or prejudicial interests with the members, please? No, thank you for that. The third part now of this is the statutory licensing subcommittee procedure, which you will see was on page 1. I'm just going to open the meeting, introduce the members and officers present, explain the nature of the decision, and ask the lawyer advising the committee to outline the procedure to be followed. I think there's going to be a change to the normal procedure for this particular meeting, so if you could bear with us, please. Opening the meeting, I'm Councillor Penny Matthews and I'll be chairing, and we have with us Councillor Michael. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
I am Councillor Michael Locke. Thank
you, Councillor Locke. And we have Councillor Paul Lloyd with us. Would you like to introduce yourself, Paul, please?
Yeah. Morning all. It's Councillor Paul Lloyd from Bunnermine Ward. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. We will now go to a legal officer who will explain the nature of what is happening here today.
Thank you, Chair. This is an application with for a temporary event notice submitted by Cinema & Co. A hearing has been convened because an objection was raised by a responsible authority, namely the Environmental Health Department of the local authority. The licensing officer will read out the report, and then the committee, followed by any responsible authorities, will have the opportunity to ask questions of that report. The responsible authority will then have the opportunity to state their position, whether they continue to hold the objection or whether that is withdrawn. And if the objection is still outstanding, then questions can be asked of the responsible authority. The applicant is not here in person, so then the matter will then go to closing submissions and a decision to be made. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we go now to the officer who will read the report to us. And if we have any questions, that's the time we'll ask them. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. I'll go through the report now for Cinema & Co. The temporary event notice was submitted for the above premises on the 23rd of November. A copy of the event notice is attached to Appendix A. The notice states the proposal is for the premises to be open for the provision of the sale of alcohol on the premises only for the 8th of December, 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. A temporary event notice may be submitted where it is proposed to use the premises for one or more licensable activities for a period not exceeding 168 hours and for less than 500 persons. There must also be a period of at least 24 hours between events. In addition, the premises can only be used under the provisions of a temporary event notice for up to 20 events per year and for no more than an aggregate of 26 days within that period. Objections from relevant persons. When submitting a temporary event notice, the premises user must also submit a copy to the Chief Officer of Police and the local authority. Pollution, environment, these are to be known as relevant persons. Where the relevant person is satisfied that allowing the premises to be used in accordance with the notice would undermine one or more of the 4 licensable objectives, they must give notice of their objection within 3 working days of receipt of the temporary event notice. An objection notice in accordance with paragraphs 4.1 above has been received from the Pollution Division and a copy is attached to Appendix B. Policy considerations. Considering this application, members should have regard to the current statement of the licensing policy, which can be found at the following link: Statement of Licensing Policy, Swansea. Guidance issued by the Home Office. Members should have regard to the relevant parts of the above guidance issued by the Home Office, particularly with regard to the following: permitted temporary activities, temporary event notices, paragraph 7.1 to 7.40. Action following consideration of the relevant person's objections. If following consideration of the relevant person's objections, members accept that the event taking place would undermine one or more of the 4 licensing objectives, a counter notice must be issued to the premises user to prevent the event taking place. If members consider a counter notice is necessary, reasons for their decision must be provided at least 24 hours before the event. If members consider that the event taking place would not undermine the licensing objectives and that a counter notice is not necessary, the event can proceed as notified or impose conditions that already apply to the existing premises licence. These are attached as Appendix C to the report for members' consideration. That concludes the report. However, further to the report, which has been circulated and published for Cinema & Co, I can now confirm that Pollution have withdrawn the representation. So we feel that this hearing is no longer necessary. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Do either of the councillors have any questions for the officer, please?
No, thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
No,
Thank you, gentlemen. So now we go to the pollution control, who are the people who actually raised the objection. If you could speak to Mr. Price, please, if you could explain what's happened here.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, all. The initial objection was raised due to officers having attended a complainant's property that we have on our lists following an allegation of a statutory noise nuisance. So officers attended on the 4th of November and were satisfied that the noise we heard constituted a statutory noise nuisance. We have been in correspondence, or attempted in correspondence initially with the applicant from Cinema & Co, but hadn't had a response initially. We have had subsequent correspondence returned, but basically we were trying to arrange a site visit there to go and explain our issues, because on the night in question they'd had a DJ event and the bass music was clearly audible in the new properties directly above Cinema & Co. Because of the lack of confirmation of the visit and acceptance of the issue or willingness to actually discuss the issue, we had initially put the objection into this temporary event to try and prevent any future problems. Subsequently, then going through the application process and checking the wording, etc., that had come back again on the application, it referred to no drums being part and parcel of this particular event, and just a guitar and singer-songwriter. So my understanding that whilst that's deregulated by the Live Music Act, we felt that in this particular instance, perhaps it would not be warranted to uphold our objection to the event, as it was not in the nature of the initial event that we had witnessed. We are still looking to arrange this visit on site, to which we still haven't had confirmation from the owner, so that we can give advice about matters that are causing a problem on the site. So I think, looking back with perspective, we decided that objecting to this one perhaps wasn't the right process, wasn't the right act to take, and not justified on the nature of this event when you compared it to the nature of the original event that we witnessed in November. So we have contacted the applicant and licensing to advise of the withdrawal of our objection on this case.
Thank you, Mr. Price, for explaining that in detail to us. We do appreciate that. I will have to take advice now from a legal officer. If you could just bear with me a second, please.
Of course.
So we've got, can I set a motion, please, to, can I have a show of hands that this is allowed? Yes. Okay, so the three of us are in agreement that this goes through with the objection raised by our officers having been withdrawn. Thank you. I'll just go over to the legal officer now to make sure that we've got the necessary paperwork in order.
Yeah, that's fine. That in view of the application being with the objection being withdrawn, there are no real grounds to justify that. So the paperwork can go through as just that it's been approved.
Thank you for attending this morning, and have a lovely Christmas, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.